All right, so today we're going to take a closer look at Oracle, a company that just reported earnings and has a lot to share about the semiconductor space and the AI space. For those that are not familiar, Oracle is a huge cloud infrastructures player, so they do have a lot to mention within that market. So we're going to cover all that in today's episode, the stock price reaction, and just my overall thoughts. So let's get started. But before we go any further, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Check out the pinned comment for a special offer at fool.com/Jose. And check out my free daily newsletter where I have a lot of great information about the semiconductor market. Don't miss out on it. It's completely free.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right. So if we take a closer look, Nvidia, Oracle, I'm so used to saying Nvidia, Oracle is down roughly 7.8%. The stock is down roughly $15 after reporting earnings. Now, earnings weren't that horrible. The biggest thing is revenue missed and weak forecasts hit the stock. I feel like this is a typical thing for Oracle. Oracle is a company that has both a growth segment in revenue, which is their infrastructure solution, but they also have a lot of like weaknesses in kind of their legacy revenue. So they're kind of seeing a mix in both ends. Year to date though, not counting the drop, the stock was up over 83%. And if you are familiar with this channel, Oracle made the top 3 stocks for 2024. So Oracle, Nvidia, and CrowdStrike were my top 3 stocks for 2024. So I'm happy that those stocks are doing great even after these returns. Now, I do want to say with Oracle stock price drop, I personally wouldn't be doing any heavy buying at these levels. This for me would be kind of small dollar cost averaging. Now, I want to move into Nvidia because I want to see what Nvidia was doing. And earlier this morning, I dropped a video about the China open probes on Nvidia for some antitrust and anti-competitive things. To me, it was disturbing news, but I didn't think it was anything to worry about as a long-term investor. Now, Nvidia's stock price was down roughly 2.5% on those news today, and after hours, the stock is down roughly 0.6%. So again, I've talked about Nvidia in the past. For me, again, very similar to Oracle, this would be more of small dollar cost averaging opportunity. It's not something that I personally would be worried about, but the volatility in this space can give us opportunities for long-term investors. So some things the CEO mentioned during the earnings call is they expect cloud revenue to reach $25 billion this fiscal year. And this is happening for several reasons. First, the cloud is growing at faster levels. The main reason is they remain the preferred cloud for AI workloads. They have great partnerships with they have multi-cloud agreements with companies like Microsoft, Google, and AWS, which are also helping in this overall growth. And they're seeing strong momentum in their cloud growth, and also their RPO remains, their remaining performance obligations remains high at roughly $97 billion. They even mentioned during this earnings call that they are telling investors that revenue growth will accelerate further in the coming years and the coming quarters. So overall, the main reason for this is the huge need for AI cloud solutions. So this is just kind of an overall bullish take in my opinion, as we are seeing from another player that there's more demand for AI compute than there is supply. Record level AI demand drove Oracle Cloud Infrastructure revenue up 52%. But if you exclude legacy hosting infrastructure, cloud service revenue was up 55%. And now their cloud service has an annualized revenue of $9.7 billion. So overall, again, we continue to see that strong bullish case for the cloud market and for the overall GPU space. So their consumption revenue was up 58% as demand continues to outstrip supply. Growth in AI segment of their infrastructure business was extraordinary. GPU consumption was up 336 in the quarter, and they delivered the world's largest and fastest AI supercomputer, scaling up to 65,000 Nvidia H200 GPUs. So it's pretty interesting, right? Because we do know one of the biggest AI supercomputers is XAI with 100,000 H100s. But regardless, this is definitely a huge player, and the company is going to continue to invest as we're going to see. Their capex was at $4 billion this quarter. Unfortunately, they did have negative free cash flow in the quarterly basis, but in the trailing 12 months basis, they are still positive in free cash flow. But they mentioned, given the demand that they see in their remaining obligations, product obligations, and the additional demand they see in the pipeline, they expect fiscal year 2025 capex will be doubled what it was in fiscal year of 2024. So this is just another great sentiment coming in from another cloud player that they're going to continue to invest in AI chip solution, in AI infrastructure, which at the end of the day bodes well for a company like Nvidia. They actually also do use AMD's chips, so that's also could be seen as an AMD chip bullish note as well, as Oracle is definitely playing both sides in this space. Now, Lawrence, the co-founder and CTO of Oracle, did share some great things. They mentioned that their major customers include OpenAI, XAI, Nvidia, Cohere, and most recently, Meta with their large-scale Llama models. And I wanted to bring those names up for one reason, right? All those players already have huge data centers. I mean, OpenAI, right? They're working with Microsoft, so Microsoft has huge infrastructure. XAI, they built some massive supercomputers. Nvidia, obviously, Meta has their huge AI data centers. But even with those data centers, is not enough capacity for them, that they have to work with companies like Oracle. And Oracle continues to win large training workloads because they're faster and less expensive than other infrastructure clouds. They even gave an example how Oracle is actually kind of really focusing in creating some form of AI models to help in the healthcare space, which I thought was pretty interesting. And for those that are familiar with me, you guys know that I believe that's a huge market opportunity for companies in the AI market, especially for Nvidia. And I mean, this company is building large data centers, some as low as 50 megawatts and some as high as 1.6 gigawatts of data center power. That's a boatload of GPUs. So again, we just continue to see that evidence that the AI market is really here, and that we continue to see kind of the strength in AI GPU clusters. Now, there was a pretty interesting question during the Q&A session, kind of talking about what are some of the diminishing returns. Is the demand for training kind of slowing down right now? And Lawrence mentions that no, right now they continue to see strong demand for huge GPU clusters. Now, what they really need to do though is focusing more on network. And network is very important when you're working with these GPU clusters, because as you make GPUs clusters larger and faster, it's putting more and more demand on the network to be able to move huge amount of data into GPU clusters. So the GPU clusters aren't sitting there waiting for data. And Lawrence mentions if no one makes that networking faster, then I think there's a potential bottleneck. But we're trying to avoid that bottleneck by speeding up our networking solution. So, I mean, I think that's why Nvidia is working very strongly on their own networking solutions, because that's where a bottleneck is, and they're trying to solve all the bottlenecks they can so their product remains on top. So Nvidia focusing in networking, focusing on GPUs, on CPUs, on DPUs is the right move for them to continue to expand this cluster. But it seems like the networking is a bottleneck that many people don't discuss, right? We usually only talk about the power constraint or the supply constraint, but networking is now becoming an important factor as well, especially when we're building huge GPU clusters. Now, I think that's all I had to share with kind of Oracle and the AI space. I mean, Oracle stock is down 7.8%, but again, if you've been following this channel, this is a stock that we entered in the hundreds, the low 100s. I believe we did the video in either late December or early January, so somewhere around 102. Even though the stock price dropped, I wouldn't be worried. The stock is still growing. The AI market is here to stay. Bullish for Nvidia in general, and Oracle, to me, this would be more of very, very small dollar cost averaging if I wanted to increase my exposure. Now, I did not mention it in this video, but I do believe that I get a lot of hate for this. AMD is sitting at very, very attractive prices for long-term investor. This is one I'm going to be adding into very, very heavily. I think AMD has strong opportunities, and yeah, So I just wanted to share that before someone says that, hey, look, Jose, you never talk about other companies outside of NVIDIA. But I think AMD is definitely looking attractive right now. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time.